I am Moses Peter, welcoming you to news at 9 p.m. on Som TV. We are beaming this signal live from the city of Jalingo, Taraba State. This is the pulse of the nation, where we bring only the stories that matter. Stay connected with us on Facebook at Som TV and YouTube at Som TV Live. Here are tonight's major headlines. Rivers State Assembly begins impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Amnesty International condemns unlawful arrest of Abubakar Salim by Nigerian police. Nigerian Air Force meets U.S. officials and Bell Dextron to fast-track delivery of 12 attack helicopters. On international news, Venezuelan officials report 100 killed during U.S. operation removing President Nicolas Maduro. Moving on to business news, Togo, Niger, and Benin owe Nigeria over 25 billion naira for electricity supplied. On entertainment news, former Big Brother Naija housemaid Fina says show has lost credibility. Down to sport news, Nigeria Super Eagles arrive in Marrakesh ahead of 2025 African Cup of Nations quarterfinal against Algeria. Now the news in full. The Rivers State House of Assembly has commenced impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu over allegations of gross misconduct. 26 lawmakers signed the notice citing issues such as demolition of the assembly complex, extra budgetary spending, obstruction of the assembly's constitutional duties, and withholding funds. The notice will be formally served within 7 days. This follows Fubara's defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC, and previous tensions with former Governor Nyesom Wike.
Gross misconduct 5. Seizure of salaries, allowances, as well as funds standing to the credit of the legitimate Rivers State House of Assembly, contrary to Section 1213 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and other extant laws. Go to 6, please. Gross misconduct 6. Seizure of salary of the clerk of Rivers State House of Assembly, Mr. Emeka Amadi. 7. Gross misconduct 7. Refusal to implement provisions of the Constitution on financial autonomy of the Rivers State House of Assembly and the Rivers State Judiciary. 8. Withholding of funds meant for the running of Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission and for stating a commission set up by Part 2AA of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Conclusion. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion. Mr. Speaker, we conclude by stating that the governor has shown that he is not required to govern Rivers State in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, and his oath of office. The Supreme Court in suit number SC/CV/1174/2004 condemned his actions when he stated that the gate respondent fear of impeachment by the Rivers State House of Assembly is no justification for his attack on the House of Assembly. The Constitution, the government of Rivers State, and the rule of law. Political disagreement cannot justify this attack and contempt for the rule of law by the governor of Rivers State. or any person. What the eighth referendum has done is to destroy the government because of fear of being impeached. Mr. Speaker, this document is signed by unlisted members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, dated condemn his actions when he stated that the eighth respondent fear of impeachment by the Rivers State House of Assembly is no justification for his attack on the House of Assembly. The Constitution, the government of Rivers State, and the rule of law. Political disagreement cannot justify this attack and contempt for the rule of law by the governor of Rivers State or any person. What the eighth referendum has done is to destroy the government because of fear of being impeached. Mr. Speaker, this document is signed by the unlisted members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, dated the 5th.
The Coalition of Taraba Youth for Reform and Governance has passed a vote of confidence on the administration of Agbu Kefas over the ongoing civil service reform and staff verification exercise in Taraba State. The coalition says the exercise has exposed payroll irregularities and helped restore fiscal discipline in the state. Some TV correspondents complete the report.
Addressing journalists in Jalingo, the coalition said it has closely followed the civil service reform process initiated by Governor Agbu Kefas to sensitize the Taraba State civil service. According to the group, between June 2023 and July 2025, the staff strength of the civil service increased from about 19,000 to 25,000 workers, with over 6,000 names allegedly introduced into the payroll system without proper executive approval. The coalition explained that the verification exercise, which commenced in November 2024, led to the constitution of a biometric verification committee in 2025. Out of 6,528 persons expected to be verified, only 3,183 appeals, while over 3,000 failed to show up. It added that 1,049 of those who appear were not found in the payroll record of any ministry, department, or agency.
Coalition of Taraba Youth for Reforms and Governance, CTYR. Vote of confidence on Dr. Agbu Kefas led civil service reforms and staff verification exercise. Date 8 January 2025. The Coalition of Taraba Youth for Reforms and Governance, CTYRG, has carefully followed the civil service reforms and staff verification exercise initiated by the administration of His Excellency Dr. Agbu Kefas, Executive Governor of Taraba State. Our reviews shows that between June 2023 and July 2025, the staff strength of the Taraba State Civil Service increased from about 19,000 to 25,000, resulting in the 6,528 names being irregularly introduced into the payroll system without due executive approvals. In response, the governor ordered a staff verification exercise in November 2024, followed by the constitution of a biometric verification committee 2025, headed by the Permanent Secretary, General Service, Government House. According to the committee findings, 6,528 individuals were expected to be verified. Then 3,183 persons appeared for verification. Then 3,345 persons failed to appear. 3,345 persons failed to appear. 1,049 individuals who appeared were not found in the payroll records of military, department of any agency, MDS. Further clarification revealed that these 1,049 individuals were not on the official payroll, but had purchased appointment letters from unscrupulous civil servants who acted against the interests of the state and its people. These actions clearly points to an internal sabotage of the civil service system rather than genuine employment. As a direct outcome of the verification and screening exercise, the committee successfully reduced the state salary bill to about 3 billion monthly, inclusive of political appointees, thereby restoring fiscal discipline and freeing resources for governance and development. In view of these facts, the coalition hereby passes a vote of confidence on Dr. Agbo-Kefas' administration and fully endorses the work of the Civil Service Verification Committee. We strongly disassociate ourselves from sponsored protests aimed at discrediting these reforms and caution against attempts to blackmail the committee. Genuine civil servants with legitimate grievance have been advised by the government to present their documents to the verification committee or the office of the head of service. We call on the government to remain focused and directed in implementing these critical reforms, which is already repositioning the Taraba State civil service for transparency, efficiency, and sustainable development. Signed, Mambu Joshua, for Coalition of Taraba Youth Reforms and Government.
Lillian Yakubu reporting for Some TV.
The Kano State House of Assembly has justified the potential defection of Governor Abba Yusuf from the new Nigeria People's Party NNPP to the All Progressives Congress APC due to ongoing legal disputes within the NNPP. Lawan Hussaini, majority leader and Dala constituency representative, explained that the party is currently embroiled in a leadership crisis that could threaten the legitimacy of its candidates in upcoming elections. The assembly is reportedly engaging with Governor Yusuf and party leader Rabiu Kwangwaso to reach a strategic exit plan, citing the precedent in Zamfara State where APC candidates lost office due to invalid primaries despite winning the polls. The defection, initially scheduled for early January, has been postponed for further consultations to ensure a coordinated move. Amnesty International has condemned the unlawful arrest of Abubakar Salim by the Nigerian police for criticizing a government official online. The human rights organization called on the government to release him immediately, noting that no one should face punishment for exercising freedom of expression. Amnesty highlighted patterns of arbitrary arrest for social media posts, citing similar cases in Jigawa and Delta states, and described Salim's detention as an abuse of power and a violation of international human rights law. Afenifere has raised alarm over rising terrorism in Yoruba land and parts of Nigeria, urging Southwest governors to implement their November 2025 security resolutions, including a security fund and joint intelligence platform. Recent attacks killing forest guards, farmers, and adoptions have sparked fear. The group called for de-radicalization, valuing life, improved training, modern equipment, and state police, suggesting presidential orders could allow local leadership of police structures to strengthen regional security. Police in Oyo State discovered the bodies of 5 forest guards killed in Oloka village, Orire local government area, after bandits attacked their office. About 12 armed men reportedly opened fire before fleeing the scene. Investigators have begun gathering evidence to track the assailants. Governor Seyi Makinde condemned the killings, assuring residents of intensified security operations and urging them to remain calm while the state works to restore safety in the affected area. The Nigerian Air Force met with United States officials and Bell Textron representatives in San Diego to fast-track the delivery of 12 AH-1Z attack helicopters. Led by Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, the meeting reviewed production progress and reaffirmed commitment to deliver on schedule. Aneke commended U.S. cooperation, emphasizing that the helicopters will significantly enhance Nigeria's security capabilities, strengthen counter-terrorism operations, and boost ongoing regional stability efforts across multiple theaters. Former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya has taken legal action against Major General Danjuma Ali Kefi and several media outlets over allegations that he financed terrorism. Through lawyer Mohammed Ndayako, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Yahaya demanded immediate retractions, public apologies, and cessation of defamatory claims within 72 hours. The suit seeks to protect his reputation, uphold the rule of law, deter false accusations, and maintain public confidence in national defense institutions. Major General Chinedu Ralph Nebeife, GOC 2nd Division, commended the 12th Brigade in Lokoja for their discipline and professionalism during an official visit. He commissioned renovated officer quarters and the NYSC Lodge, urging troops to maintain cooperation with sister security agencies to sustain peace within the region. Nebeife highlighted the importance of continuous training, operational readiness, and community engagement in strengthening security outcomes across Kogi and neighboring environments. Katsina State Governor Diko Rada launched a community-focused security strategy to combat banditry. The initiative combines dialogue with locals, strengthened vigilante engagement, and coordinated military deployment. Early results show reduced attacks and improved safety, enabling farmers and traders to resume daily activities. Traditional rulers, civil society groups, and federal agencies support the initiative, which aims to sustain peace and rebuild trust between communities and security operatives across vulnerable rural areas. Tension rose in Plateau State, just south, after Miyetti Allah reported that Fulani header Zakaria Abdullahi was killed in Geru community with another header hospitalized. McBand termed it an attack on Fulani residents. However, the Berom Youth Association countered the armed headers attacked a mining site, causing chaos, and the deceased was accidentally shot by fellow headers. Both sides deny targeting each other, prompting calls for impartial investigation. Nasarawa police foiled an armed robbery at a wine shop in Maraba after a witness raised an alarm, forcing the robbers to flee and abandon a locally made Beretta pistol. Commissioner Shetima Joro Mohammed ordered a manhunt and full investigation. Separately, 6 suspected Lassa fever patients escaped an isolation center in Lafia over food concerns, but were later found. All tested negative, though one pregnant woman from Awi died. A Kebbi State Court sentenced Abdul Mohammed Aududuku Surajo Umar Liman and Aliyu Abdullahi to death for armed robbery and criminal conspiracy. The trio attacked residents, carting away money, phones, and other valuables. Despite pleas for leniency from their lawyer, the law mandates the death penalty for such offenses. However, the state governor retains the constitutional power to grant clemency depending on recommendations and humanitarian considerations. Kano State Police recovered 3 stolen vehicles and arrested 5 suspects linked to a car theft syndicate. On January 3rd, the Special Intervention Squad intercepted a stolen Toyota Corolla at Hotoro NNPC runabout, arresting 25-year-old Mohammed Ishmael. Further investigations led to 4 additional arrests, including suspects who confessed to stealing a Honda Pilot belonging to Bauchi government. On January 6, officers recovered a stolen Toyota Sienna in Hotoro North, urging owners to reclaim property. Also, the Kano State Police Command has confiscated 104 motorcycles and 68 tricycles in a week-long operation enforcing the ban on commercial motorcycle and night tricycle operations in the metropolis. Spokesperson Abdullahi Kiyawa said several owners were arrested and charged to court. The Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Bakori, commended public cooperation and interagency collaboration, including the Kano Road and Traffic Agency. The enforcement follows rising banditry and kidnappings in remote areas using motorcycles for attacks and ransom. Lagos courts have sentenced 4 individuals for various drug-related offenses. Ebulu Uzochukwu and Michael Ndebisi received 1-year jail terms and 1 million naira fines for possessing cocaine, methamphetamine, and cannabis. Nwafo Boniface was sentenced to 18 months or allowed to pay 4 million naira or perform community service. Doris Roberts received 18 months, a 1.5 million naira fine, community service requirement, and passport seizure for illegally exporting tramadol abroad. Now moving on to Delta State, a major political shift occurred as LP's 2023 governorship candidate Dikin Ken Pella led several politicians to defect to the Action Democratic Congress ahead of the 2027 elections. The well-attended Asaba event saw Pella advocate integrity-driven leadership and effective governance. ADC leaders, including Senator Andrew Uchendu and Festus Ibinoba, described the defection as a historic alignment and evidence of expanding grassroots support for the party. Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State received 2 PDP lawmakers, Honorable Gabriel Galadima Fushinsin and Honorable Malon Nimrod Yari, who defected to the APC. Led by the Speaker, the lawmakers cited the governor's inclusive leadership and developmental achievement as motivation. Governor Yahaya welcomed them warmly, describing the move as a vote of confidence and assuring their full integration as the APC builds unity ahead of the 2027 elections. The African Democratic Congress has inaugurated a 22-member constitutional review committee to strengthen internal democracy and position the party as a national alternative. Chaired by Etigwe Uwa, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the committee will review the party's constitution, structures, primaries, dispute resolution mechanisms, and inclusiveness for women, youths, and persons with disabilities. National Chairman David Mark urged wide consultations, adherence to party ideals, and compliance with Nigerian law, while the committee pledged to deliver a forward-looking, widely accepted constitution. Over 2,100 Kaduna grain farmers reported losses totaling approximately 10.16 billion naira due to declining maize prices and rising input costs during the 2025 season. They appealed to the federal government for subsidized input for the 2026 cycle, pledging repayment in maize. Meanwhile, the National Cashew Association of Nigeria stressed that improved cashew production and processing could generate up to $10 billion annually, advocating strategic investment to harness the sector's potential. Now moving on to Adamawa State, the state has continued prioritizing youth development and pension reforms. Deputy Governor Professor Caleb Tapua Farauta received 30 graduates from the Nigerian Air Force 24th intake praising their discipline and urging patriotism and professionalism. Governor Ahmadu Fintiri's administration has also been clearing outstanding gratuities dating from 1999 to 2019. He assured retirees that all verified payments will be completed before 2027, a policy widely welcomed by pensioners statewide. Now moving on to the FCT, the federal government released outstanding match bonuses owed to the Super Eagles for their participation in the 2025 AFCON in Morocco. Minister of State for Finance Doris Uzoka Anite confirmed that group stage payments have been settled, with final transfers underway. Government introduced a fast-track foreign currency conversion system to meet player preferences and ensure speedy disbursements, supporting team morale ahead of the knockout rounds. The FCT Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board will conduct its 2026 Hajj orientation on January 10 and 11 at the Basan Jiwa Hajj camp. Islamic scholars will educate intended pilgrims on rituals, procedures, and new regulations issued by Saudi authorities and NATCON. Mandatory medical screenings begin January 12, forming a key requirement for securing Hajj visas. The board aims to ensure pilgrims are spiritually, medically, and administratively prepared for the holy journey. Indigenes of the FCT praised Minister Nyesom Wike for promptly compensating communities affected by development projects. Simon Baba Yerima of Nkpama community said payments were made without delays, relocation sites properly planned, and Wike personally engaged residents to resolve long-standing marginalization concerns. He also urged upgrades to traditional institutions, many of which have remained stagnant since the military era, to foster inclusion and recognition for indigenous communities. Retired Deputy Inspector General of Police Godwin Chijioke Nwobodo has been crowned Igwe of Ihueze Newe in Henry local government area, Enugu State. The Nigeria Police Force celebrated his distinguished 35-year career, especially in ICT and policing reforms. IGP Kayode Egbetokun expressed confidence that Nwobodo would apply his leadership experience to promote peace, unity, culture, and development within the community. Residents welcomed his coronation as a step towards strengthening traditional authority. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has transferred regulatory oversight of Gombe State intrastate electricity markets to the Gombe State Electricity Regulatory Commission, in line with the Electricity Act 2023. Jos Electricity Distribution PLC is required to establish a subsidiary, JED Subco, to manage local distribution and supply. The transition will conclude by July 6, 2026, granting Gombe greater autonomy in generating, regulating, and managing its electricity market. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Zak Adedeji, chairman of the Nigeria Revenue Service, on his birthday, praising his leadership and transformative reforms. Tinubu commended Adedeji for meeting budget targets in the third quarter of 2025, modernizing systems, upskilling staff, and implementing the national single window to streamline import and export processes. Adedeji, who previously held key roles in Procter & Gamble, Oyo State Finance, and National Sugar Development, has served as FIRS chairman since September 2023. We are now going on a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the news continues. Stay tuned.
watching Sam TV.
Do you want to score 280 and above in JAMB? At Taraba Business School, we can make your dream come through. Register now for our JAMB and CBT training. Intensive JAMB and WACE coaching classes with experienced teachers is ongoing. You will also be trained on computer-based training, CBT. Visit Taraba Business School today. We are located opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. You can call the following numbers for inquiries: 080 602 69140, 070 634 28464, 080 606 60861.
Welcome back. We are glad you're still there with us. Now moving on to international scene. Venezuelan officials have reported that 100 people were killed during a U.S. operation that removed President Nicolas Maduro from power. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello stated that a large part of Maduro's security detail was killed in cold blood, while Cuba confirmed that 32 of its military and intelligence personnel in Venezuela also died. Maduro and his wife Celia Flores were injured during the raid. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez declared a week of mourning for the military personnel killed. The attack has drawn international attention due to the high casualties and the targeting of national leadership. On business news, Togo, Niger, and Benin owe Nigeria over 25 billion naira for electricity supplied under bilateral agreement. In third quarter 2025, they were invoiced $18.69 million but paid only $7.125 million, leaving $11.56 million unpaid. Including previous bills, the total debt is $17.8 million. Payment from domestic customers were higher at 87.6%, and Nigeria's 11 distribution companies remitted 95.2% of their invoices. The electricity comes from grid-connected Nigerian power plants. Reports said businesses must update payroll systems to reflect the new tax provisions, claim input value-added tax on overheads and fixed assets, and ensure withholding tax is properly deducted and remitted. Experts recommend that automation is introduced to prevent heavy penalties, and all vendors must provide a tax identification number. Regular reconciliations, accurate record keeping, and prompt compliance with the Nigerian Tax Administration are essential to avoid fines, interest, and other sanctions under the revised tax laws. Now moving on to entertainment news. Reports said former Big Brother Naija housemaid Phyna, whose real name is Ijoma Josephina Otabo, believes the reality show has lost credibility and no longer helps contestants build lasting careers. She noted that many ex-housemates rely on the same fan base, which is no longer expanding, and that audience support now simply shifts from one contestant to another. Phyna added that the prestige of being a former contestant has significantly diminished compared to previous years. Lastly on sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles have arrived in Marrakesh, Morocco ahead of their 2025 African Cup of Nations quarterfinal against Nigeria. The squad is set to resume full preparations as attention turns to Saturday's match at Stade de Marrakesh. The federal government confirmed that all outstanding March bonuses are being processed. Nigeria finished the group stage unbeaten and defeated Mozambique 4-0 in the round of 16, with Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman leading the attack. Team officials dismissed reports of internal discord, emphasizing unity and focus on securing a semi-final spot. That is where we draw the curtain on tonight's news at 9 p.m. From all of us at Some TV, we are saying goodbye. I am Moses Peter, wishing you the very best.
Africa, a land of ruth.